created by EduChina Link Group, founded in 2007. EduChina Link Group created the most prominent brand Lose Hand for learning Chinese online, and at the same time developed the first platform in the world which is officially authorized by 500 top China universities for helping students to come to study in China's top universities, that is CCAS, Study in China Admission System. Now, to date, Lucian has conducted over 10 million classes in more than 200 countries, and CCAS have helped 120,000 students to study in China's 500 universities. In Lucian, we have a 5A teaching style, that is anytime, anywhere, A+ tutors, and A+ results. Learning a language could be anytime and anywhere. No fixed location, no fixed time. Just make an appointment through my Lucian account. Then you can attend your Chinese class at your convenient time and your favorite place. It could be lunchtime, coffee time, or bedtime. It can be at home, at office, on the way, in the bed, or any place that you could. And it could be your personal computer and also your iPhone. And learning results should be A+ with advanced level tutors. Following a professional certified advanced level and real native Chinese tutor are always much better than following a personal computer or a robot, especially when a A+ tutor teaches you with ESPUS system. Do you know what is ESPUS system? That is Automatic Study Plan Updating System. It is the safe belt for your A+ results. ESPUS big data matches your age, profession, hobbies, backgrounds, and levels, etc. with the most suitable study plan and A+ tutors to cast your needs. ESPUS also ensures you to study in a small class, guaranteeing one-to-one practicing time with your A+ tutors. Analyze on your study tests done after each class. Update your study plan time to time according to the study reports, and identifies your strengths and tackles your weakness so as to perfect your Chinese skills. So, don't forget our motto, that is, only practice makes perfect. Now in this class, we will first review the words we learned last class, and then I will further introduce 大连医科大学 to you about the programs that are provided by this university, and also the scholarships and all the other related information about this university I will introduce to you. And then as for the students who want to study medical, I found a video about the future medical industries going. So we will see a video of the future medical, and then let's cut in short. Let's go. Words part. At the beginning of this part, I will say this Chinese word for a few times, and then you should read after me. In Chinese, read after me is 请跟我读. First, let's hear my pronunciation of this Chinese word. to help you get familiar. Let's start. 大连，大连，大连。And Dalian is a word located in Liaoning province. Next, open, open, 开放 open, 开放 open, 开放 Next, interest, 兴趣 interest, 兴趣 interest, 兴趣 My interest is singing. What about you? 我的兴趣是 singing, 唱歌。我的 my 我的兴趣是唱歌。My interest is singing. 兴趣，兴趣。Now I think your interest is learning Chinese. And let's go next. Medical, 医学 medical, 医学 medical, 医学 And next word, MBBS. In Chinese we say 临床医学临床医学 MBBS 临床医学 MBBS 临床医学 Next word, cooperation 合作 cooperation 合作 cooperation 合作 Cooperation often appears when there is a teamwork. And many universities have cooperation with a foreign university. So this word will appear many times in the video. Cooperation, 合作 Cooperation, 合作 Okay, next word. 大连 again. 大连大连大连 And next, team. 团队团队团队 Team 团队 So team cooperation combined together. Cooperation is 合作 Team cooperation is 团队合作团队合作 Especially when you are doing a project, you need to work with your classmate. And then you need to have a team cooperation. 团队合作 And next word, ocean city. 海洋城市 Ocean city, 海洋城市 This is a word to describe Dalian because Dalian is a coast city. It's a sightseeing ocean city. In every summer, many visitors from the inland province of China, they would go and pay a visit to Dalian because the environment and the atmosphere and the temperature of this city is very comfortable. That is ocean city, 海洋城市 Ocean city, 海洋城市 And also, 青岛 is a ocean city. 青岛 is a city located in Shandong province. And also, Weihai is an ocean city because Weihai is also near the sea. And also another city that is Yantai, ocean city. Now let's go to the next word. Higher education 高等教育 Higher education 高等教育Higher education mainly includes mainly to describe that students are taking an education of after their high school graduation, they will study in a university or a diploma, and then we call it higher education. Education in Chinese, 教育，教育，教育。And higher education is 高等教育。Higher 高等 Higher 高等 Higher education 高等教育 Interest 兴趣 Interest 兴趣in my last slide I say interest. Can you still remember what's my interest? My interest is singing. 我的兴趣是 singing 唱歌。What about your interest? Interest 兴趣兴趣你的兴趣是什么 What's your interest? We've learned words and your in the previous lessons. So combine together, that is, what's your interest? What's your interest? Interest 兴趣兴趣 Now let's continue. English taught Banter programs. 英文授课本科专业 English 英文 English 英文 taught 授课 taught 授课 Banter 本科 Banter 本科 Programs 专业 Programs 专业 English taught Banter programs 英文授课本科专业 So those are 4 words and each word is have a Chinese meaning and have a corresponding Chinese word. So you just combine those 4 words together. Let's do that once again. English is 英文 taught, that is 授课 Banter 本科 Programs 专业 So combined together, that is English taught Banter program is 英文授课本科专业 Very good. The next, let's learn these English taught Banter programs. And the first is MBBS. This is a repeat of MBBS because it's a very hot, popular programs in China. That is 临床医学，临床医学。And next, BDS 口腔医学，口腔。Look at my mouth. This is my 口腔，口腔医学。And next, pharmacy 药学 Pharmacy 药学 Pharmacy 药学 Now let's go back and have a review of these words and this time I will say these words for 2 times and you need to read after me 请跟我读大连大连 Your turn Next, open, 开放 Open, 开放 Well done. Next word, interest, 兴趣 Interest, 兴趣 And next word, medical, 医学 Medical, 医学 Your turn. 医学Do you want to be a doctor? And then you should study medical. Next, MBBS 临床医学 MBBS 临床医学 Again, your Your turn. 临床医学，临床医学 very good. And next, cooperation 合作，合作 now it's your turn. 合作 yeah very good. Next, team 团队，团队 repeat after me 团队 very good. Next, higher education 高等教育，高等教育 Next, 大连，大连 Great. Next, Ocean City 海洋城市，海洋城市 Your turn. Very good. Next, interest 兴趣，兴趣，兴趣 Your turn. Very good. Next, English taught Banter programs. 英文授课本科项目 Let's slow down. English 中文英文 sorry for mistake. English 英文，英文 taught 授课 Your turn. 授课 Next, Banter 本科 Your turn. Excellent 本科 Program 专业 Program 专业 Your turn. And next, MBBS 临床医学，临床医学 Good. Next, BDS 口腔医学，口腔医学请跟我读口腔医学 Very good. Next, Pharmacy 药学，药学 Very good. You did very excellent. Now, let's continue to introduce Dalian Medical University. Now, let's go. First, do you still remember the introduction of last class history of this university? Let's see what Stick has comments on this university. Founded in 1947, Dalian Medical University is located in the beautiful coastal city Dalian. It is one of the best medical universities in China. The available MBBS 临床医学 and stomatology, that is dentistry 口腔学 in English is popular among international students. Besides that, DMU has established collaborative relationships with 75 universities and 38 research institutions in 27 countries and regions, including the State University of New York, American, Curtin University of Technology, Australia, State Medical University of Volgodar, Ukraine, etc. Carrying forward the history and in initiating a new episode, DMU is bringing no efforts to further its study and teaching of medicine to prepare all the international students and to a bright future. And the university has currently has more than 100 international students on campus. And let's first learn the courses that this university provides for international students. And let's go and have a look. First, let's see the English medium program, that is MBBS 临床医学. Now let's go and have a look. This is English teaching medium program The duration for this program is 6 years, and the tuition fee is 42,000 RMB per year. We've learned before that Wenzhou Medical University is also a MOE-list English teaching MBBS university, and the charge for Wenzhou Medical University is only 30,000 RMB per year. But let's see the description of these sub-universities MBBS. DMU is recognized by WHO, and the graduates of MBBS program are eligible to take the medical licensing examinations held by the medical councils in different countries, such as MCI, PMDC, USMLE, HPC, SHS, etc. And this program is available for both English and also Chinese medium. The teaching objectives of this program aims to educate students to study basic theory and elementary knowledge in medicine, gain basic clinical skills of some common diseases, diagnose processing, and have the primary treatment ability to urgent, difficult, and severe symptoms, and be qualified for careers in hospitals, the medical and health units, medical science research departments, as well as other organizations related to medicine. And also, we can see the main course of this program are as this, but the university told us that every semester's curriculum will be adjusted according to the university's arrangement at that time, and this program doesn't accept transfer students. And let's look at the laboratory equipment and of MBBS. This is the laboratory equipment is quite clean. And those are the students who are taking classes of BBS. Let's look at the fee structures of this fee structure. That is, the tuition fee is 42,000 RMB per year, and also there are accommodation fee that is 11,000 RMB for girls double room per year, 8,000 RMB for boys double room per year, and also 10,000 RMB for postgraduate students. And students are all required to pay physical examination fee, insurance fee, residence permit, living cost, and books. The duration of this study is 6 years. And these 6 years including 1 to 1.5 years compulsory internship, and the internship can be finished in Chinese hospitals or in hospitals of your own country. And after completing the requirements of the teaching program and passing the graduation examinations successfully, international medical undergraduates will be granted a graduation certificate and conferred a medical degree by Dali Medical University. And if you meet the degree regulations of Dalian Medical University, the English copy of the degree will state MBBS, that is Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. So the most important is after your study of this postgraduate after you study the 6 years Bachelor of MBBS 临床医学, what's your future job? What's your future orientation? Let's have a look. So after obtaining MBBS degree, the graduates can apply to take the medical license examinations in the medical council in order to get registered and practice medicine. According to the regulations in different countries, the students may need to do the degree accreditation first. An MBBS degree holder can find jobs in government as well as private hospitals, nursing homes, and other health facilities. Except this, one can also start his own clinic or pursue study for master's degree. And let's look at the teacher's highlight. This is a distinguished professor of Dalian Medical University. The name is Lü Peng. And let's look at the entry requirements of this program. The student should be a nine Chinese citizen with a valid passport, and the age of students who want to learn MBBS is from between 18 to 25 years old. And they must be mental and physical healthy, because if you want to be a doctor, you must be mental and physical healthy, because your job is to cure the patient. And also you have to complete the senior high school course with good marks, because only the students with good marks can adjust to the teaching of medical knowledge. And next, they have a solid financial support to afford the study and the living expenses in China, because the charge for this program is 42,000 RMB per year. So that means you must have a solid financial support to support you finish your 6-year study in MBBS. And you also have to know that if you want to study MBBS in a university, in a Chinese university, then in your high school you must have studied chemistry, physics, biology, and English. And also, mathematics is a reference subject for admission evaluation. And let's have a look at please look at the table. This is the admission mark for admission the students who want to study MBBS in Dalian Medical University. And you can see the average score should be above 70%, or with 2B or 1C, or at least with 2B or 1C. And if you are from Thailand, you need to have a GPA above 3.5. And you are from Bangladesh, you need to have a high secondary certificate about 4.9. And also, if you're from India, you should have admission marks pass above 75%. And from Pakistan, you need to have a FSC above 660. Besides this course, this university also provide another English major, that is stomatology. That is 口腔学, something related to your mouth. Now let's go and have a look. The stomatology, the course, the tuition fee for stomatology is 45,000 RMB per year, and is a 5-year bachelor's degree teaching in English. Let's have a look at the description of this program. To cultivate senior applied stomatology talents with strong hands-on skills, entrepreneurial ability, and strong ability to develop, to cultivate doctors for diagnosis and treatment of stomatical disease. And the tuition fee for this is 45,000 RMB per year, and also all the fees for stomatology and MBBS is the same, except the tuition fee. After your studies if you want to study in this program, you need to acquire those following knowledge and ability if you want to graduate. That is basic theoretical knowledge and experimental skills of preclinical medicine and clinical medicine. And next is basic theoretical knowledge and clinical operation skills of various disciplines of stomatology. Next is dentistry, common disease, diagnosis, treatment, and initial processing of urgent, difficult, severe symptoms. Four is basic knowledge of dental work and general skills. And five is master medical literature search, the basic method of data survey with initial capacity of oral medical research. And from the information we know from CCAS that this university don't have scholarships provided for Banter students, but they have a program that's provided for postgraduate and doctor students. So if you want to study in this university, you should come and ask and suggest you to apply through CCAS, because CCAS can help you get this scholarship. And beside that, if you are a student who want to learn medicine, and you must be curious about how future medicine industry will go, and then let's go and have a look at the following video. Let's go.
We know there are about 30,000 diseases all known to human beings, and of those, about 3/4 have no treatment whatsoever. You have an aging population worldwide, there are a lot more chronic disorders coming through, and these patients need new treatments which are offered on a continuous basis. We see a very big change in therapeutics coming up, and we're on the cusp of that change now, where you're getting multiple disciplines in, brand new technologies, much more understanding the biological science behind it, and the net result of all of that is it should introduce new therapeutic modes into the general public.
So there's a revolution going on in medicine that we want personalised healthcare. We want to understand our own bodies, the individual nature of those. And for that we need sensors, but not just on the outside, we need sensors on the inside. And we've not been very good at making those. So nanoscience and nanotechnology is driving towards making new sorts of devices that will really revolutionise medicine. This is the idea of personalised medicine as a whole. How do we actually know how we're working as a human? When you go to a doctor, they always ask you how you're feeling, and part of the reason is they have no machine which can measure how you're feeling. So it's about how do we create technologies that actually can read that out and do something much more profound, actually watch how you're living and then start to warn when maybe something is going wrong. Now, on the very, very future scale, what we actually really want to do is to put nanomachines inside our bodies. We want them to go and scavenge away and repair parts which are broken, remove clots, and all at the moment this is rather large-scale interventions, so surgeons have to push something in your body. What we'd really like to do is to use what the body does. And so nanotechnology is learning how to build these sort of nanomachines.
Humans are living longer and longer, and of course we've dramatically changed life expectancy over just the last 100 years or so with the introduction of antibiotics. And so our tissues, the quality of our tissues decreases with time, and that means as we live older and older, we're going to need more and more replacement parts. not necessarily just to stay alive, but for our quality of life as well. So we study natural materials because if we want to make artificial materials that are similar to the natural materials, we have to understand the natural materials themselves first. Scaffolds are used for tissue engineering when we make an artificial tissue. Tissues have two components. They have cells and the material, the extracellular matrix. So our scaffolds mimic the material part, and then if you add cells to that, then you can engineer a new tissue.
Other organisms have enormous powers to regenerate. They can regenerate limbs that are lost or hearts that are damaged. Humans, we don't have that ability. When somebody has a heart attack, part of their heart muscle dies. They can lose 1 billion cardiomyocytes, and the heart never repairs that. It's just replaced by scar. What we'd like to do is develop a tissue-engineered cardiac patch made out of stem cells that can replace and restore normal function to the heart. What we're using is embryonic stem cells that can form heart muscle and all the other structures of the heart. And what we want to do is to improve the heart function, not just by a couple of percent, but completely back to normal. I mean, the future is actually very bright for regenerative medicine as a whole because other people are working on other organs. So kidneys, livers, repairing damaged brain, even spinal cords. So there's a huge area of promise here. I think that's what the future holds, looking far ahead.
Immunotherapy is really revolutionizing the way in which cancers can be treated. My lab is interested in understanding what makes a really good killer cell. So the cells that recognize and destroy both cancer and virally infected cells in your body. So as effective and revolutionary as immunotherapy has been, it doesn't cure all patients. And so it becomes incredibly important to understand in detail what tells a killer cell to kill and how it does so. So what my research is aimed at is understanding what makes a really good killer and what are the mechanisms that control that killing. One of the approaches we use is to study cells from patients with genetic diseases where the killer cells don't work, to try and understand why things don't work when one component's missing. Another approach that we use is to look at the genes that need to be expressed to train a cell to be a really good killer. And finally, we use a lot of high-resolution imaging on live cells to see what happens to make the killing effective. What we really need is a big enough bag of tricks to understand in detail the mechanisms that control the killer T cells, so that every time a cancer cell comes up with its new strategy to try and avoid the immune system, that we have a trick up our sleeve to deal with that.
I head up a team that's a new team, really working and focusing on a new type of technology, really on a new breakthrough called CRISPR, or genome editing. This is a new technology that allows us to essentially rewrite the DNA that's within all of our cells, correcting mistakes in that DNA. So the field has really exploded over the last few years, and we're really able to do more now than we've ever been able to do in the entirety of history. Now, CRISPR is essentially the exploitation of an antiviral defense system that exists in all sorts of different species of bacteria. And scientists have taken that and have taken components of that to be able to rewrite DNA in all manner of cells and all manner of organisms. Gene editing is really essentially a two-part system. There is a GPS location and there is a pair of molecular scissors. The GPS locator directs the molecular scissors to a specific part of the DNA to be able to make its cut. And at that point there, the cut, the removal and the replacement of the DNA can occur. What we hope to be able to do is, once we've corrected the cells in the petri dish, is to be able to put them back into the patient. Now what that will do is it will not be a therapeutic against a particular disease or it will alleviate the disease. That could potentially be a complete cure for that disease, for that individual. What this technology also does is it allows us to look down within a cell and to tinker and really understand what's going on, how cells work at the most fundamental of levels. And that allows us to do all sorts of things. That allows us to turn a cell into a computer, for example, to record information into a cell, to program cells to do specific things. very soon in the near future, we'll see some diseases being completely cured, simple diseases being cured by CRISPR technology or genome editing technology, with more and more complex diseases being tackled over the next few years. So we're working with regulators and with clinicians to ensure patient safety is paramount.
Clearly, the field of therapeutics offers many exciting new treatments, the prospects of all sorts of amazing discoveries. But it's important to remember that these benefits are not free from risk or controversy. Topping most people's list of issues to be concerned with is the prospect of designing some sort of post-human race. So to avoid the metaphorical shipwreck, it is really important that we bring together people who are expert in all aspects of technology and society, including law and ethics, to identify and evaluate the various risks, benefits, themes and trends.
So I think in 50 years that we really will be able to manipulate these cells with exquisite specificity, and I think being able to control what is a fabulous and effective little cell within our body to help the immune system when it needs to be helped or when it begins to go rogue. We'll be able to do that in 50 years.
Gene editing itself is so versatile, it feels a bit like sometimes the sky is the limit. I could see a situation where in 20, 25 years in the future that people could be engineering synthetic cells that go inside people and survey around their body looking for disease and dealing with disease as it arises.
Right now, if something goes wrong, you might need a donor in order to get a replacement part. But in 50 years, we might just be able to walk into a room and have there be shelves full of donor parts for all different tissues in the body because of tissue engineering.
What my vision is that people who have heart attacks, who have damaged hearts, will be able to provide a patch through a cardiac surgeon. As you go for a bypass now, you'd go for a bypass and maybe a heart patch as well. And we'll be able to restore those hearts back to normal, which means that people who currently aren't able to do simple things like walking upstairs or having a normal life can get back to doing just normal things that you and I take for granted and having a normal lifespan as well.
In terms of the future, and I mean the longer term future now, I see a very large change in the way that healthcare is delivered. So you have new therapeutic regimes which may be done, for example, in the home environment, and maybe the diagnostics will be done there, and even eventually the treatments done in the home, and very much angled against the individual. So it's personalised in the home environment. Or if it's a more serious disorder, a longer term disorder, that will be conducted in a hospital environment. But because of the therapeutics can be delivered by the patient with the patient's own materials, it's probably going to change the way hospitals are established, the way the companies interact, because they'll have a product which actually comes to the patient side or the bedside, and very different geometry from the way it's done right now. And if you can get to that stage, you can of course save masses of money in the final healthcare treatment regime. I think the most exciting thing from my point of view is the fact that you're bringing into therapeutics and treatments of patients a whole range of technologies. It's called convergence in the technical jargon, but you're bringing them all together to create a totally new treatment regime. And that's right the way from how you handle the patient to actually delivering the final therapeutic product. And that's the exciting thing, I think.
Okay, this is the end of this class. After the introduction about this university, what do you think of this university? Do you want to come to China and study in this university? Don't forget, if you want to study in China, you can always ask for help with CCAS, Study in China Admission System, because this CCAS has been cooperate with more than 500 universities in China. And if you want to get a scholarship, CCAS will help you to get it. And don't forget, if you want to learn a language, only practice makes perfect. No